10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Manchester
1,
United have
0.
reached the promised land.
Good morning, everybody. Sam here, live on United People's TV, the 3rd of May. I always have to look at my date before I go live. But look, we are live. We are ready. I've left that window open. Let me close that. And we're here after Man United won a game. Bit weird. Not used to this. And won a game comfortably. Almost like the two best performances from Ralph Rangnick's team came in his first and his last games at Old Trafford. Bit weird, that. But as always, there's plenty of talking points, right? We're going to be speaking about Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm not finished, is what he told the camera after that game during the walk around in Old Trafford. We're going to see Ronaldo next season with Erik ten Hag. Do you think it will work? We'll have a little conversation about it this morning. Going to be speaking about Jesse Lingard's brother and his reaction on social media, which is probably, I'll be honest, it's a big talking point in terms of the changing of the guard. Last night was Juan Mata's farewell. We'll speak about that. Nemanja Matic's farewell. We'll speak about that. Hopefully Phil Jones's as well, and Edinson Cavani's. Lots to talk about in terms of the reaction to the game, the overall performance, the feeling. Now there's the next game that happens at Old Trafford. Erik ten Hag's going to be in the dugout. Very excited to see that. But let me go down here and see who's in the comments. As always, Matt, good morning to you and good luck to you and your wife. Hopefully you're going to name your son Eric. There's no other name you can really name it. Even if you have a name in choice, it doesn't matter. You've got to call it Eric. Stephen, good morning to you. Anuj, Thomas, and Yogi. Takeoff, Sashi. Gungshi, I can see you down there as always. Jason, Paula, Ken, I can see you there. Shafiq, lots and lots of you down in the comments. Good morning to all of you. As I said, it's a bit strange. The fact that we can come into this live stream today off the back of a win, and a comfortable win at that. Really good 3-0 win. Christopher, comment there saying, where did you get that portrait from? Can you link it? That's from Stanley Chow. If you just go and search Stanley Chow on Twitter, you'll be able to find him. And also, if you use the code, because I asked him yesterday, I was like, Stan, loads of people are asking me where to get the artwork from. So he's given us a discount code for United People's TV members, UPTV10. If you use that, you get 10% off. It's nice of Stan to do that. And Thomas, good morning to you. But look, there's only one place I think we can... Oh, look, you call him Archer. Very nice name, Matt. Very nice name. There's only one place we can start. And we're starting really positively here on the Cristiano Ronaldo story, on his performance last night. And then we're going to head into the Jesse Lingard story, which I think is going to be the main debate and talking point today. I've got plenty to say about that. But Ronaldo last night, you watched my match reaction? Wow. Wow. It's going to be 38 in February. Oh, he's just turned 37 then. He's 37, but that performance there last night, there's been detractors that have worried about whether or not he can play under this Erik ten Hag system. But I tell you what, if Ten Hag can do what he's doing with Sebastian Haller, imagine what he could do with this version of Cristiano Ronaldo. After the game last night, he's there signaling to the cameras, I'm not finished. When he was doing the it wasn't lap of honor, it was just a walk around at Old Trafford. He looked into the camera and he said, I'm not finished. But what do you think about Ronaldo next season under Erik ten Hag? Let me know what you think, because there are obviously there's concerns. Ronaldo's the problem, has been what has been said by some people in the media. Not really United fans this year. I think all of us would openly admit that Ronaldo poses a tactical problem in the fact that I think we were building towards a style of play under Solskjaer, and Ronaldo kind of jarred against that. But it's Cristiano Ronaldo. You bring Cristiano Ronaldo home, and he's on the verge now. He's 2 goals away from scoring his 20th league goal. And if he gets those 2 goals in the games against Brighton and Palace, and let's be honest, who would rule him out getting goals in both of those games? I wouldn't right now in the form he's in. That means he'll get 20 league goals for the 12th consecutive season. That's insane. Absolutely insane, the numbers that he is doing. But it wasn't just about Ronaldo's goal yesterday and the goal that he got ruled out for offside just a little bit too keen and ran in front of Mata. It was Ronaldo's overall performance. I think if you're looking at how Ronaldo played in that game, you saw him as the number 9. Now, across the course of the season, Ronaldo has kind of got frustrated. When he's been isolated up there as a number 9, he's just dropped deep out of frustration, trying to start something from, coming towards his own half and trying to start something. And hasn't always worked out. But what we're seeing now is a completely different type of Ronaldo. He's somehow got some new fire in these last few games and found a different gear where all the other players have checked out the season. And yesterday he was left wing at points, right wing at points, number 10, number 8, number 6, number 9. Hell, he was in tracking back with Telles and Dalot on the edge of his own box. They're on the front post for corners. Ronaldo was incredible. But the thing for me about Ronaldo is I absolutely think that Ronaldo can easily be a superb player in this Erik ten Hag system next season. But he has to get used to playing one game a week. I think that's the caveat for me. That's the only caveat I've got. Ronaldo was absolutely indomitable, but he can't do that 2-3 times a week. Not at 37, not at that tempo. I would much rather see a 100% Ronaldo once a week than a 50% Ronaldo twice a week, if you know what I mean. So I always point towards it. Zinedine Zidane was the first manager to actually manage his game time. Even though Ronaldo was pissed off when he got dropped for some La Liga games, Ronaldo was coming in and scoring like back-to-back hat-tricks in Champions League quarterfinals. He went up another level in the Champions League because he had that extra energy in his legs. And you can see it when Ronaldo's playing once a week right now. It's a bit different. Maybe he's not. That's what I think anyway. I'm going to go down to the comments and read plenty of your comments out on him. Obviously, I'm going to be speaking about Juan Mata next. I'm going to be speaking about Nemanja Matic. Going to be speaking about Jesse Lingard. Just right now, I'm speaking about Ronaldo. Manor, you agree with me? Quite a few of you down there agree with me. Matt, you're saying Erik ten Hag is buzzing for Ronaldo. Absolutely, he's buzzing for Ronaldo, my friend. And I think that, it's fashionable to think that Ronaldo just won't work inside this ten Hag pressing system. But he's shown that he can and is capable of doing it. And once he's playing in a well-coached system, hopefully with 1 or 2 attacking signings, and we start to create for Ronaldo. Ronaldo doesn't have to do all that work, man. Ronaldo, I've said it all along this season, Ronaldo in that City team just scores 25 goals without even opening his eyes. Just has to stand in the 18-yard box and just wait for the crosses to come to him, and they will come to him. He would have got bags and bags and bags of goals at City. At United, he had to work so much more for it. Yesterday, his goal was because he dropped deeper, cut, and then Dalot would win the ball on the outside, and then he completely burst in, used his strength and speed, and won the penalty. It wasn't because he was waiting in the 18-yard box for someone to cross it to him. He had to make the whole chance himself. Hopefully that changes next season. But I think Ronaldo can absolutely play a key role under Erik ten Hag. And I think Erik ten Hag will be excited to manage him. Gungshi, thank you very much as always, my friend. Thanks for supporting the channel. He said, good to have a show on the back of a win for once, instead of a loss or a dreary draw. What a beast Ronaldo is. Can't wait to see what he and Ten Hag can do in the coming season. Should I do a video on Ten Hag and Ronaldo today? Maybe. Drop a like on the video if you want me to do it today. I might not do it today, but I'm definitely going to do one. Going to add it to the Ten Hag list of videos we're doing. Manoyo, you're saying Ronaldo's so professional, in my opinion, can suit Ten Hag's tactics due to Ronaldo's work ethic. Moreover, he outran most of the players, and his effort during the last couple of weeks has been sensational. It has been sensational. As Anthony's saying, he's worked hard last night, and it stands out, doesn't it? When you see how the commitment and the level that so many of these players have put in the last few weeks, and you see Ronaldo playing like that, it just stands out, and you're like, wow. If 37-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo can do that, what's your excuse? And he's taken away the excuses from so many of these players. He's playing in, I think right now, because Ronaldo is not going to get any team accolades this season, is he? He's not going to get the Champions League that he wanted. Not going to get the Premier League that he wanted. Cool. Tell you what, I'm going to go for the personal accolades. He's going to win our player of the season. It'll be a muted celebration, but he'll win that. And he wants that. I think he wants that 20 league goals. He's really fighting for it. You see how pissed off he was when that goal was ruled out? The one that it was offside. He wants that. Ibrahim, after watching Mata for the last 2 games, do you think had he started more, we could have been better? Yeah, Ibrahim, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Everybody knows that. Juan Mata was fantastic last night. Really fantastic. People questioned whether or not he should be in the starting 11. Ragnick chose to give him the send-off. And Mata delivered. Juan Mata, probably a player who the majority of his United career was played out of position, really. We signed him as that number 10 from Chelsea when he was their player of the season, when they were dominating. We kind of just like shifted him out onto the left, shifted him out onto the right, and hardly played him really through the middle. Mata, consummate professional. I suppose let's bring this up now. Let's have a quick conversation about Mata before we move on and we go back to Ronaldo. Gary Cole, can I get a birthday shout out, please? Yes, my friend. 21 again, plus 34, yeah? No, you're not 55. This man last night, I really, really hope that Juan Mata comes back to the club in an ambassadorial role, man. Absolutely top level professional. Never really heard a bad word from him. Never heard anything about a bad attitude from him. Sure, the game went on. The game got too fast for Juan Mata's legs. That's just the evolution of football, right? But, yeah, man, I've got a lot of time for Juan Mata. Even after the game yesterday, he was there until midnight outside signing autographs in the rain. Nice send-off for Juan. And I'll never forget that day at Anfield, man. One of the greatest goals you'll probably ever see a United player score at Anfield. Juan Mata was, love the guy. Absolutely right time for him to leave. Don't really think he should have been given a year extension. This conversation should have been happening last year. But United have, we take our sweet, sweet time when it comes to getting rid of players. Stephen, you're saying Mata was man of the match for me. A brilliant performance. Mata's always the gentleman. Seriously got a bit teary-eyed when Matic and Mata said I'm not teary-eyed, maybe not, but he's Mata, yeah, man. Really happy for him. I'm happy that he got that send-off, and I'm also happy that he's now played his last game at Old Trafford. I'm not saying that in a brutal way, but I'm happy that United really are shifting on. And as I said, the changing of the guard is happening here. Matic, Mata, Pogba, Lingard, Cavani, hopefully Jones, and Martial. 7 players should be leaving United without us even really batting an eyelid. 5 on a free or contract. Yeah, 5 with contracts expiring and a couple of sales. Yeah, man. Now's the time. And I'm just happy you got to send off. And fair play to Matic as well. 2 insane passes. The pass that Matic had for Ronaldo's goal in the last game, and the pass that he put through to to Bruno when he spooned his chance. Woo! Matic. I think Matic can probably, and still odds on Matic joins Roma. Let's be honest. He's going Serie A. I think he's still got a couple of years left in him in Serie A. Slower game of play. A little bit more. I'll tell you one thing I remember during that game. Remember Matic just pulled back the shirt of the Brentford player and stopped him going through. I swear if United players had done that more this season and had that bit of sort of, not the dark arts, but a bit of gamesmanship, it might have been better. Let's go down here. Love the hug Mata got from Ronaldo at the end of the match, says Gungshi. Played Mata more top 4, says Dan. I don't know. I really, really don't know. Mata last night was superb. I think we played Mata week in, week out, I don't think we would have got that sort of performance. Mata is the consummate professional as always, and Juan will be an absolutely fantastic ambassador for Manchester United. He really, really should get that role, and we'd be lucky to have him there. Really. Is sort of the sort of person that is a perfect role model on and off the pitch, both as a professional footballer and as a human being. Great bloke. Happy he got the send-off. But we're going to be speaking about Jesse Lingard next because, we've got to have a conversation about what happened with Jesse. Save soil, man. Love Ronaldo, Mata, and Matic. Don't you think we started playing better from the moment Maguire was on the bench at Arsenal? Now, that's either a coincidence or Maguire's absence has contributed to how United are playing. I think it's a bit of both. We definitely look better coming out of the back with the ball. Without Maguire in, we seem a little bit more confident in ourselves, but I'm not exactly going to say we started playing incredible, because a draw against Chelsea, I suppose, is a decent result. You'd probably take 2 draws. Now, would you take 2 draws against Chelsea at the start of the season? You certainly take a draw at Stamford Bridge. But Maguire, man, he's got a long, long road ahead of him. Long road ahead of him if he's going to force his way back into this team under Erik ten Hag. Really, really is, especially if we sign Yuri and Timber or someone like that. JP, what are you saying, sir? Do you think it's just a coincidence that there were no English passports in the starting lineup yesterday and we played better football as a team? Yes, I do think it is a coincidence. I don't think there's It depends what you mean, I suppose. Do you mean just the fact that Rashford wasn't in the team and Maguire wasn't in the team and Wan-Bissaka wasn't in the team, or are you just talking about English players? Because maybe taking the players who are out of form out of the team and putting different players in, yeah, all of a sudden you're going to play better. Kind of makes sense. But it's nothing to do with xenophobia or the fact that they're English. It's a bit of a confusing comment there, but we've got to talk about Jesse Lingard, man. The Jesse Lingard situation is definitely the biggest talking point here today. And it's weird. Really, really weird. And I'm going to dive into it now. And I really want to know your opinions on this one, because I don't particularly think it's going to split opinion too much. But I imagine everyone's really going to have something to say about it. So I'm sure you've seen what happened yesterday. Jesse Lingard, of course, has been at Manchester United since I think he was 9. I think he's been there since he was 9, something like that. He's been at United for a long, long time. Academy player, came through, did so much with the club, had his purple patch, had his good moments and his bad moments. And it's been a bit of a nothing 18 months, really, with Jesse Lingard, from his loan move to West Ham to then his the failed exit during the summer, because I feel like United kind of priced him out of a move during the summer. And then he refused to join Newcastle on a permanent deal in January because he wanted to stay as a free transfer. And then we were blocking his loans. It was all odd and weird. And last night, after the game, this happened. This is a message from his brother on Instagram. Let me read it out to you. This is from Louis Scott, who's Jesse Lingard's brother. 20 years of blood, sweat and tears, 4 domestic trophies, 3 cup final goals, not even a farewell. No wonder it's Conference League next year. Attacking players for celebrations when the club's being sold to the Super League. Okay. Class of 92 and Busby Babes. You're ran by people who don't even know the offside trap. Yeah, that part I agree with. Classless, and the fans need to realise. Good night, God bless. Or good bless. Oh, no, this is God bless. Tara. Been there since 9 years of age and didn't even get a send-off. Well done, bro. Your family are proud. Now, I really want to... I'll read quite a few comments out on this. What's your reaction to this from Jesse Lingard's brother? Because it's like pot kettle black, man. The club are not innocent in this situation. But I tell you what, man. You can't really expect Ralph Rangnick to have... The relationship between Jesse Lingard and Manchester United is a very different relationship to between Jesse Lingard and Ralph Rangnick. How can his brother genuinely think that Ralph Rangnick feels like he owes anything to Lingard after Paul Scholes quite literally exposed him as a leak on national television? This isn't the first time that his brother has come out and started guns akimbo and started throwing shade at everybody. But it's weird, man. It's really weird. And I think if you compare the way that Jesse Lingard has handled the end of his Manchester United career compared to the way that Juan Mata has handled the end of it, compared to the way that Nemanja Matic has handled the end of it, I think you'll see they're 2 very, very different things. And look, look, that's what I'm saying. United absolutely are not innocent in this situation, all right? This is very much a every party is guilty sort of situation, both Jesse Lingard and Manchester United in their own certain ways. In the same way that remember when Lingard, he was left out of the team and Rangnick said that he lied, but then he came out on Instagram and then he said, no, I didn't lie. And then we found out that he had actually been told by John Murtough to have time off and Ralph Rangnick didn't know. It's just been odd, weird, not professional in any way, shape or form. And I think the way that Jesse's acted in the last 12 to 18 months, I don't particularly think has done him any favours. And I'll tell you one thing I really want to say here about this situation is this. This is his brother, Louis. I'm getting some sort of parallels here to what happened with Ravel Morrison. Ravel Morrison was somebody who was so insanely talented at Manchester United, but unfortunately was surrounded by the wrong sorts of influences and the wrong sorts of voices in his ears. Because that message there has got such an insane amount of entitlement. It's unbelievable. Like the club really owes Jesse Lingard a favour. The club doesn't owe any player anything. They are players for the club. Now, of course, it goes a bit different when it comes down to when you get into the academy and you're looking into it. But I just feel like Jesse might be having the wrong sort of voices and influences in his ears, which has created this, as I said, this self-inflation and self-importance and feeling of self-importance. And when you compare, as I said, Lingard's way of approaching this whole situation compared to the way that Mata and Matic have approached it, they're very, very different things, man. Very, very different things. And I just don't think that Jesse's... This isn't Jesse doing it. This is his brother doing it. But as Scholes said, Jesse's been talking. And why would Ralph Rangnick feel like he owes Jesse Lingard anything? And bear in mind, by the way, Jesse Lingard trained once this week. He literally asked for time off. He asked to stay at home, and Ralph Rangnick granted that to him. I mean, at the same time, you could say, Sam, but Cavani hasn't played in 2 months, and he came on. Kind of fair enough. But he literally asked for time off. It's weird. And just like the Paul Pogba situation, I'm happy that this is hopefully the last time that I have to talk about it. All the bullshit. All the bullshit. When you're a top-level club and you're winning trophies, these sorts of conversations do not come out. You don't waste time talking about shit like this. And I'm happy to be done with the Pogba situation. I'm happy to be done with the Lingard situation. And now we can give a fond farewell to Mata and Matic after their exits. Goodbye. Cavani, yeah. Thanks for the goals, but geez, sick note. Just done with it. Done with the drama. And when you there's a certain way to carry yourself as a professional. And yeah, as I said, that real sense of entitlement. That's the biggest takeaway I've got from that message from his brother. Like the club really, really owed Jesse Lingard. And Rangnick said it after the game. He goes, look, if I had 5 subs, I definitely would have used him. But he didn't. It's odd. Very, very, very odd. I'm going to go and read a few of your comments out here because this is definitely it's one of those situations where we've got to see what you're thinking. Stephanie saying probably the same as Pogba now has realised no one's going to pay them half of what United did. Well, I actually read from Andy Mitten that Pogba's not 100% leaving yet, but I hope that's bloody wrong. Let me go down here. No drama from Mata whatsoever. There's a lot of players in that team that have overinflated opinions of themselves. Absolutely do, man. Absolutely do. I told you that sense of self-importance, that sense of, or that lack of self-awareness, actually. That's what it is. They think that they're far bigger than they are because Manchester United have given them the wages to allow that mentality to come in. And as I said, it really feels like Jesse Lingard, in my opinion, is probably having the wrong sorts of influences in his ears. And that entitlement is definitely coming from people around them as well. Prato, you're saying Jesse should have stayed at West Ham, better for both. It would have been better for both. Absolutely. Mano was saying he's part of the academy and should receive the farewell despite all of the things that happened, in my opinion. Look, I agree with you. I think Jesse Lingard deserved a send-off yesterday. He didn't get it. But the fact that he deserved one, does it warrant that sort of response from his brother? No, I don't think it does. I don't think it does. And it's sad, man. It really is sad because Jesse Lingard was a player who gave a lot to United for a long, long time. He did. He had that purple patch under Mourinho. Remember when he got 4 goals in 1 month? One player, I think Premier League Player of the Month. Was it January, something like that? Scored 3 cup final goals. Loved scoring at Wembley. I've got some fond memories of Lingard. I do have some fond memories of Lingard. But I'm happy he's leaving. And if Lingard, and this is the sort of thing I always go, if Lingard really, really wanted to further his career, he would have forced that transfer. As soon as Lingard saw that Ronaldo was coming back to the club, he was happy to unpack his bags. But he knew that he wasn't going to play much at Manchester United this season. He absolutely knew that. But he couldn't walk away from the club because we just signed Ronaldo. I want to be part of that, he says. I want to be in and around that. And then you're going to get pissed off the fact that you're not going to play much. If you really, mate, if your career was the single most important thing to you, Jesse Lingard would have handed in a transfer request last summer. Man United would have lost a few million on him. It may not have been the most acrimonious departure, but he would have got his move away and he would have played regular football all season, whether that was at West Ham or somewhere else. Jesse Lingard chose to stay in that situation. He could have handed in a transfer request. That's the way I look at it. And Jesse Lingard chose not to move to Newcastle in January on a permanent deal because he wanted to wait until he was a free transfer and then had the pick of the bunch. All right? United are not innocent in this situation. Jesse Lingard and his representatives are not innocent in this situation. I would personally call this a lose-lose situation. That's the way it's ending, and it's sad. It's sad that it's going to be that sort of departure, but it is what it is. And I'll tell you what's fucking sad: United being an absolute travesty of a football club for the last 8-9 years, and this is just another one of those situations. I'm done with the circuses. I'm bored with the sideshows. Same reason I won't give any oxygen anymore to Paul Pogba, and I don't even want to entertain the idea of him staying at the club, even if he could become a great player under 10. I can't be arsed with it. Done. Absolutely done with the circus. Just like I'm done with the Jesse Lingard circus. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. I don't really want to say too much more because I think it's a very, as I said, there's no winner in this situation. It's not going to be an opinion where everyone goes, oh, that's cool. It's agreement. It's like the Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano fight at the weekend. Any result could have been called at the end of that, and you'd be like, kind of fair enough. It's that sort of situation with Lingard. Is that depending which evidence you look at and depending which angles are more important to you, you think that party's more guilty than the other. No one wins. No one has won. But Lingard cannot be surprised that Ralph Rangnick decided to do that. Ralph Rangnick owes Lingard fucking nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just like he owes none of the players anything. And the players that have worked hard, trained hard, play. In the build-up to the game against Brentford, Lingard trained once. Mata trained great all week. He decided to give Mata that performance, especially after the last 10 minutes we came off the bench against Chelsea and made a difference too. It's weird, man. It's absolutely weird. Varun saying Van Persie did not get a farewell. The guy made us win the league. Who is Jesse Lingard to cry? I don't know, man. It's odd. It's just, this is Manchester United Football Club at the moment, man. It really, look, I can see it in the comments. It is like a fucking episode of Kim Kardashian or Home of the, whatever the name of her show is these days. I'm not trying to sound like an old bloke, but she's got about 59 shows. Yeah, that's what we are. Like a shit reality TV show. We're not a football club anymore. Just end it, park it, let's move on. Let's start talking about Eric Ten Hag. Let's start talking about the positives, because I don't really think you can get a positive out of this Lingard situation. Mud, you're saying Rangnick could have fielded him for the final 2 games. Yes, it's not at Old Trafford, but the farewell regardless. But after this poke, yeah. His brother hasn't helped him in that situation. Yeah, because he might not get the Old Trafford send-off, but he could get that send-off from playing against Crystal Palace or Brighton. Nick, you're saying 20 years loyalty means nothing because he should have left last season. Quite harsh. We were talking about a 5-minute sub, but he only had 3 subs yesterday. He decided to use Jones and Cavani. Look, Man United owes more to Lingard than Ralph Rangnick does. Ralph has known Jesse Lingard for a very finite amount of time, and clearly their relationship has not been good. That's why this situation exists. So it's down to the manager of that individual moment. You can't put that on the whole club, can you? Jesse Lingard, it's odd, man. As I said, there's no fucking winner here. There is no winner here. Like, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I hope we don't have these conversations again. No doubt there was 2 games left. No doubt his brother will come out and say some more shit. But yeah, it's just gonna be one of those conversations that you have in a few years' time, saying, "Oh, that's weird. It's weird how it ended, isn't it? Really weird how it ended. It's just odd because it's so polar opposite to how it has ended with this man, eh?" As I said, you carry yourself in a certain way, you can expect to receive the same in return. And I personally don't think you can say that about how Jesse Lingard has acted. My own opinion, right? It is what it is. Let's move on. Otherwise, we're going to get stuck in this all day. Right. Let's see what else we can talk about. We've got Ronaldo. Obviously, Ronaldo and Ten Hag. I'm dead excited about that next year, man. I really am. I don't know what to expect. I really don't know what to expect from Ronaldo and Ten Hag. I expect goals, naturally. But it depends how well we can improve our wingers in terms of actual deliveries into the box, first and foremost. Just, we need more if we're going to get more out of Ronaldo. And we need new strikers too. New strikers, new attackers. Depends what you take from what Ralph Rangnick says. This is what he said in his post-match press conference about new signings. He said we need at least 2 new strikers to give the team more quality, modern strikers. Liverpool and City have 5 or 6. Is Grealish a winger or a striker? They are all strikers. We don't have many. Mason Greenwood would have been one, but after the West Ham, he wasn't part of the squad. So we spoke about this yesterday, I think. I was like, do you think Rangnick actually means that we need like 2 genuine strikers, like number 9s? Or do you think that it's his definition of the word striker is something a bit different? And he's confirmed it here, right? He wants attackers, not strikers. Players like Christopher Nkunku from RB Leipzig, who can play across all front 3 positions. Instead of being isolated down as a striker, and that's it, it's somebody who can play on the left, play in the centre, and play on the right. Do you think do you think we'll get 2 this summer? You type yes or no in the comments. Because Rangnick he said this like 3 or 4 times now. The fact that we need at least 2 strikers, attackers, he's now saying. But I don't know whether we're going to get that many in this summer transfer window. I think there's so many things to do at this club in one window. I just don't see how we're going to get. I don't know. You could talk about Facundo Pellistri coming back in. Could he be one of them? Amad Diallo. Could he be one of them? Diallo looks really raw, man, still. If you watch any of the Rangers games, his physicality is definitely going to hold him back. He needs to not just bulk up, but just needs to just get used to a more physical style of play. Facundo Pellistri, I haven't watched him enough, so maybe he's more ready for it. But Langer's come through. But this, I absolutely hope doesn't happen, is Dybala. No offense to Dybala, but that's the exact sort of signing I want Manchester United to move away from. Do not want him to come anywhere near the club. Anthony, you think that there's a chance that we do? Sam, you agree? Dom, you don't think so? And David and Mick, you don't think so either? Daddy's Prime? Weird. You say no. Yes. The only thing I'll say on this Mason Greenwood situation is we know that the bail has been extended as the police continue to do their investigations into what is going on. That's all we know. Nothing else is being said by the club. And until there is a definitive answer, nothing will be said by the club. Manuel, you think? I don't think so. We need 2 defensive mids to strengthen our defense. And Al, you're saying no. I reckon we'll get 1, but there's too many priorities to get 2. And Tino, you're asking for my thoughts on Garnacho. I'm presuming that's who you mean. Garnacho will be part of the preseason tour. I'm excited to see what he does. But again, he's 17. Can we really be looking towards a 17-year-old Garnacho and a 19-year-old Anthony Elanga to come and transform our attacking team to try and knock this City and this Liverpool team off where they are? I don't think he can. That's an unreasonable expectation. I mean, they may well shine and come through, but you need to bring in someone. I personally think we're going to get. It depends on the profile that we sign. It depends on the profile of the player. I personally think we're only going to make 1 attacking signing. We're definitely going to have to sign somebody who can play that number 9 role, but maybe it's going to be somebody who can play across all front 3 positions. Maybe it's going to be exactly that. Someone like Christopher Nkunku, who can add versatility, add goals from a sort of supporting striker position, but play on the left or the right-hand side too. Darwin Núñez, of course, is somebody who's been linked with us, but Darwin Núñez is absolutely like a pure, proper striker. His possession, his sort of pass completion, his ability to link up and get involved is far less than someone like Christopher Nkunku. So he's more of a specialist, if you know what I mean. He's a great goal scorer, no doubt. But all-round game, weaker than someone like Christopher Nkunku. And there's just so much to sort this summer, man. For me, 2 central midfielders is the absolute crucial 2 starting points. 1, 2, bang, bang. They should be our first 2 signings. And then we look elsewhere. Then we look at what else. We can't go through this summer without getting, in my opinion, 2 central midfield signings. Maybe one of them is going to be James Garner. And if one of them is going to be James Garner, then we need to spend big on the other one. I personally think we should be spending between like 40 to 50 million on 2 central midfielders. Or someone like Aurelien Tchouameni, we're seeing prices in the region of 60 to 70 million euros. I did my full story on him yesterday. You know what I think about Tchouameni. I think he is the sort of man who can come in and transform that midfield. And then, of course, defense. What happens to the defense? Jurrien Timber, is he the man that comes in? I think he's the most likely to come in from Ajax. I don't think they'll be selling Timber and Anthony in one summer, given the fact that they're already losing Mazraoui, they're already losing Gravenberch, and they're already losing Erik ten Hag. And now there's conversations about Sebastian Haller leaving too. That Ajax team could get ripped apart at the seams. And I think they'll probably hold on to Anthony for one more season. That's what my Spidey senses are telling me. And Declan, this just will not happen. Declan Rice will be priced out of a move away from West Ham this summer. He will not leave. I'm going to be amazed if Declan Rice leaves West Ham this summer. It's just completely and utterly unreasonable that someone's going to pay over 100 million for a defensive midfielder. It's not going to happen. Bellingham, he'll probably go over for 100 million, but Bellingham's different gravy altogether. But there's absolutely no way that Rice leaves. Look, might be wrong there. Maybe I'm wrong. And I just don't think that Manchester United will be paying 100+ million for Declan Rice this summer and then getting everything else done that we need to get done. There's a lot that we need to get done. And as Rangnick says, he wants United to go after a couple of attackers. Again, I don't think that's probably realistic. I think we'll probably get one in each position. An attacker, hopefully 2 midfielders and 1 centre-back. I think that's probably what will happen. We can get 2 players worth the same as Rice. Yeah, that could happen. West Ham can keep Rice. Now that price, Rice will be held to a free transfer. I don't think so. A few of you asking about Ruben Neves, about De Jong. I've already done a De Jong full story back in January, I think it was. Xavi's been speaking about his importance to the team. De Jong said he's happy there. It feels like Barcelona are probably going to be not building around De Jong, but I'd be very surprised if he left. Again, I think there's probably more chance of De Jong leaving Barca than there is of Rice leaving West Ham at that price anyway. Paul Mitchell. Please, Paul Mitchell. Come on, Paul. Make it rain. Something I do want to comment on here that happened last night. The more protests before the game. Well done to 1958 for organising that. There was a much heavier police presence last night. So when it got to the Munich tunnel, the police were splitting the fans up, not allowing them to dominate the whole tunnel. They also stopped fans coming from the forecourt in front of the Trinity statue to join in the Munich tunnel. So they separated. They basically stopped the protest being as big as it could have been yesterday. And ultimately, the walkout. Fair play to anybody who did the walkout, but it's very hard to organise something like that. And he saw that. It didn't have as big an impact as people would have hoped. But more protests, keep them coming, man. It keeps the conversation at the top of the list, and that narrative has to keep getting pushed. So I won't really see myself denouncing what they're doing. What they're doing is with the best intentions in mind for Manchester United. That's what I think, anyway. Go down here and read a few of your comments out. Let's have a look. Stop looking at overrated players. The team does not need them. We need warriors who's going to play for the boss. I don't think Rice is an overrated player anymore. I thought that at the start of last season, but he's really, really impressed me this year. Properly come on as an actual genuine leader, real quality, great ball carrying. Rice is a very good player. He's also not worth 100 million in the same sentence. What about Christian Eriksen? He was an absolute baller last night. Some of those whip deliveries, you're looking at going, I've not seen that at Manchester United for a while, not from a midfielder. My God. Bruno Fernandes, I suppose you can say that. But the consistency of his deliveries was absolutely outstanding last night. Absolutely outstanding. De Jong for 70 million would be my dream signing, says Nick. I genuinely think it would be Erik ten Hag's dream signing as well. If it's not going to, I've said it to you before as well, if it's not going to be De Jong that we sign, it's going to be, okay, if I can't get De Jong, I want somebody like De Jong. And that will be the profile that other signings get compared to, matched against. It will probably be a De Jong type player. And you're saying complaints have been filed with GMP for attempting to break up peaceful protest. It was odd. The protests against Norwich and Chelsea and Brentford all went through peacefully. There were flares, there were voices, there was no destruction of any property, there was no violence at all. So it was a bit heavy-handed from the police to do that last night, but that's kind of what happens when protests continue. That was always going to happen. And people are talking about Eriksen on a free transfer. No. Again, maybe slightly different to the idea of just picking up a big name for free. Not part of the plan. Not part of the process. I don't care about free transfers and anything. Blah, 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 blah. Not for me. Nah, not for me. What about Donny van der Beek then? Just a bit weird. I think Eriksen was amazing last night, but I'm not going to start saying that I hope that we sign him off the back of him putting in an absolute masterclass against us in a game that Brentford lost 3-0 anyway. Bit weird. Look, if anybody's got any more questions, keep firing them in. I always do Q&As at the end of these streams. I'll do Q&As for the next 5 minutes or so. So fire in your questions. But yeah, if there are so many of you that love the idea of Donny van der Beek getting a chance at Manchester United, and you also then want to sign Christian Eriksen, it's like, what do you want? You can't have both. You cannot have both. It makes no sense. And would Eriksen work inside the Ten Hag system? Because that number 10 is the hardest part of that whole system. The running that player has to do is going to be incredibly difficult. Incredibly difficult. What else we got over here? Nah, I like this. Boom. We have only got... Wait, what do you mean? We've only got 2 more games as Manchester United before this bloke is our manager. And we've got none at Old Trafford. The next game that happens at Old Trafford, that man is going to be in charge. That's exciting. That's really exciting to think about. It's really coming. There he is up there. There he is down there. He is the one who hopefully knocks Liverpool back off their little tiny perch that they've decided to get back on. Mickey, you're talking about Patrick Schick. Nah, not for me. Need someone more dynamic than that. Lower center of gravity. Really nimble, versatile. That's what we need up front. And we need that unpredictability to our wingers again. I'll tell you what, you saw it yesterday. How great was it to see Elanga drawing a defender in, spinning him, running in behind, Delo with a great ball, wonderful cross, Bruno, 1-0. Easy, simple goal, man. Drag a team forward, get the high line, use the pace to get in behind, square ball, 1-0. It's like a sweaty goal on FIFA. They're so easy. But United haven't done that anywhere near enough this season. We haven't used the pace in behind anywhere near enough. I want to see that more. Your wingers should be doing that. What is that? If you're talking about the identity of Manchester United, that's something I really link with United is those runs in behind. Elanga really was fantastic last night, and he saw it in the game in his post-match interview. He was just like, it's nice. We needed that. We needed that win. It was good to give it back to the fans. Good to get 3 goals. Good to get a clean sheet. And he said it with a big smile on his face, man. Elanga has to be one of Rangnick. One thing that Rangnick is really praised for very highly. Elanga's come through after an exciting pre-season. He was used sparingly. Rangnick came in and he's just become a mainstay, setting the tone and the pace and the intensity and the enthusiasm to be playing in that United shirt. And we spoke about this. I'm going to be filming the next episode of the podcast today. So let me drop you the link to the Instagram account in the comments, right? Because what I'm going to be doing every single day, every single time we record the podcast, I'm going to put a story on Instagram and you can reply to that story with the questions that you want to be answered during the podcast. All right. And I'll do that. So make sure you follow us on Instagram. The link is down there. I do lots of content, really trying to build the Instagram account. So I'd love it if you went over there and followed it. And just when I release a story, you send your questions in for the podcast. Let's read a few more of your questions out in the comments, though. Prowse as an option? No, absolutely not. Now, I've heard quite a lot about him, but I haven't watched him enough, so I can't fairly comment on him. I believe Donny van der Beek will be back as a whole new player. I mean, he will be. He will be a whole new player. It'll be like a new signing. It's cliche, but it absolutely is because he'll get a brand new lease of life under Eric Ten Hag. And remember, in 2018-19, he was literally in the top 20 for the Ballon d'Or. Donny van de Beek isn't a shit player. Whether he can cut it like that at the Premier League level compared to Eredivisie, that's a judgment that we still have to make, in my opinion. I don't think he had enough Premier League minutes to have that fair comparison. Don't particularly think he done enough overall. That's my feeling on Donny van de Beek, but I'm not ruling him out. Let's see what happens. What about Fred? What about Fred? Fred will be a pretty damn important player for Manchester United next year under Eric Ten Hag. Absolutely no doubt about that. Stephanie saying, any news on Paul Mitchell? All quiet on the Western Front with Paul Mitchell as far as today goes. I want Paul Mitchell in. We need Paul Mitchell in. Matt Judge leaving, Jim Lawler leaving, Marcel Bout leaving. You've seen my video on the structure. It's all there. It's right there. The role is there for Paul Mitchell. It's just whether or not we can go out and get him. Big shout out to Cammy leaving Sky Sports. Unbelievable, Jeff. That is a very random comment, but it's true. It is a good laugh. Kamara would be a good option, being linked with him as well. Is that Boubacar Kamara from Marseille? No doubt. I told you, it's like one of those, it's like going into a supermarket when you're drunk or you're high and everything just looks appealing. Throw it all in the basket. That's what United will be like with midfielders this summer. But we've got to get it right, man. No more of these needles in a haystack. Got to improve our odds with better scouting, better research, better profiling to improve our odds of when we sign that player, that they fit into the team perfectly. That's what we need to see. And Carl, you're saying just leave all the signings to Eric and Paul. I'd love to see that as well. But let's wrap it up for today. As I said, the main talking point, the main story is this. And for me, it's put a bit of a downer on this morning. Not a downer, but this is the sort of shit that I don't want to see anymore at Manchester United. This has to be the end of the circus this year. All right? I'm tired, Robbie. I'm done with it. I'm bored of it. I just want to see United operating as a football team on and off the pitch, and every single one of those players acting professionally. Sick of the circuses, sick of the sideshows. Get them out of the club. Let's start afresh. And sorry for Jesse Lingard. That means he's leaving. It's the right thing to do. But look, thank you very much for joining in, everyone, this morning. Thank you all for your comments. There's lots and lots of you here. I'm really like how the community is growing. We're nearly at 250K, by the way, subscribers. Imagine that. Going to have to do a decent giveaway for that. We've also got this giveaway. Somebody keeps commenting about that Eric Ten Hag one. I've got a spare here to give away. Maybe I'll do that on the podcast this week. Yeah, I'll give this away on the podcast this week. So if you want to be in with the chance of winning this, you have to listen to the podcast. And then in there, I'll tell you how you can win it. But thank you very much, everybody, for joining in today, as always. I'll be back later on with another video, as I always am at lunchtime. But thank you very much. If you're new here, make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe. I'll see you soon. Take it easy.